So everyone has been asking me, can this stupid bear win a major? Well, I've been playing a lot of Etalus lately, and I think he's the most fun character in the entire game. Now, fun doesn't always correlate to good, but I think Etalus has some things that he can work with. The cool thing about Rivals is that its worst character has always been able to get results. Look back at Rivals 1, a lot of people said the worst character in the game was Orcane, but our number one player in 2021 was an Orcane main. This is also true for Rivals 2 so far. I thought that Fleet was the worst character in the game, but Cake was still winning every tournament with her. In Rivals, every character is given their own unique tools that can swing the pace of the game into their favor, and Etalus is no exception. Let's take a look on how Etalus works. I'll start off by listing some of the main problems that Etalus has. On a surface level, Etalus is combo food and has a somewhat bad recovery. He's definitely going to get juggled and will also get edgeguarded a decent bit. His smash attacks don't work a lot of the time too. He also doesn't have many ways to be shielded, and you can CC almost all of his moves until 50%. Now, these seem like pretty bad weaknesses, and they are. I'm willing to say that Etalus is either the worst or second worst character in the game right now, but he does have some strengths that might be a bit overlooked. His entire game plan is based around spacing fair and keeping them away with F-tilt, which you then build off of over the course of the game. Admittedly, having these as our main neutral tools makes the character very vulnerable to CC since the F-tilt can be crouch cancelled until 50%. This causes problems with his approach options since he has to take big risks to win neutral, like dash attack, which is inversely disjointed, or down air, which requires you to be above them. I will say, the dash attack has been significantly buffed in the most recent patch, which makes Etalus much better at whiff punishing. This character also has some pretty cool setups and tech that isn't being fully used. There's a lot of potential with down B setups into freeze. I've also been experimenting with up B out of shield setups, which can just straight up lead into a kill sometimes. Up B is also super good at tech chasing right now, so that's worth keeping in mind. He even has a really strong ledge snap that isn't being fully utilized right now. It's really hard to edge guard him from the stage if you space it right. With all that being said, I think it's fair to say that this character will be a decent bit less popular than others, so matchup unfamiliarity could end up being a real thing for players who aren't willing to practice as much against him. I will say, I think he's a few buffs away from being a really strong character. He just doesn't do much shield damage, his ice shield doesn't do much of anything, his recovery is pretty bad, his strong attacks don't connect well, his frame data is slow, he's a heavyweight, his armor is almost useless, and he loses to basically the entire cast. These things aren't that big of a deal on their own, but all of this combined adds up to be a huge detriment that makes me question if someone really can win a major with him. However, he does have one of the strongest punish games, so if you are able to consistently open the opponent up in neutral, then you usually have a decent advantage when comboing them, and can find early kills with fair or down special, so it's definitely possible to win with him. Winning a major like Genesis or Riptide with Etalus would be an unbelievable gauntlet of 8 or 9 losing matchups in a row that you have to win against the world's best players. On top of this, I think the biggest hurdle for Etalus is finding a player who would be willing to play him enough to get to a top level, have the perfect bracket, and win these insanely skewed matchups all consecutively. And no, this doesn't count as Etalus winning a major. Hey guys, I also have a few cool announcements. I have a creator code in Rivals of Aether 2 now. If you use the code LP in game, then you'll get some extra Aether bucks with each of your purchases. Not only that, but you'll also join this list of really cool people right here. All of this helps me out so much, and I appreciate all the support you guys have given me. Thanks.